Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, I haven't done a makeup collection video for quite some time now, and I thought it would be really nice to go through and show you my eyeshadow palette collection. I don't know if I've ever actually done that, or if I did do it, it was quite a while ago. I have showed you like my makeup collection, but I don't remember like going through my eyeshadow palettes and like giving you, I thought it'd be nice to give you sort of like a brief overview of what I've thought, what you use a lot of, and what I don't really use, etc, etc, etc. So let's just jump right in and get started. I have got, so the first thing we'll talk about is I've got 3 of the NYX palettes, and these are the NYX in Your Element palettes. These were, I think, like a Christmas release last year. I managed to get hold of them in the sale in Boots, and I think I paid about £12.50 each for them because they were quite expensive. They were about £25 each. There was 4, I think, because there was like earth, wind, fire and metal, I think, and obviously I didn't get the wind one. I got the earth, the fire and the metal. So probably my least favourite out of these is the earth, which I am thinking about decluttering because it's just not something that I really tend to use very often. It's just that the colours aren't really my shades, but I must admit these palettes are very special. They are lovely, really nice. I mean, look at that, that's so pretty. They're really nice quality, but there's a lot of neutrally shades in here. I like the cranberries, but I just don't feel like I get enough use out of it, and I think it would be nice to maybe sort of pass this one along to someone else. Didn't know this was going to turn into a declutter video. But the other 2 I want to talk about I actually do really love, and I do tend to use these quite often. So the first one I've got is the metal one. This is quite a unique palette, I find. They're like shimmers, but they've got like a metallic sort of finish to them. It doesn't look like I've used this much, but I do actually use it quite a lot, but obviously because you're only using it on, I mean, like this blue is so pretty, such like a unique blue shade. They're not like boom in your face, but they've got this like metallic, metalized sort of finish to them. I mean, that's so pretty, isn't it? That's one swatch. So I do really like this, and I really like this when I'm looking for something quite unique. I tend to go to this palette because they're not, like I say, they're not like bang in your face colour, but they've just got a unique sort of quality to them. So I do really like this one. Then the other NYX palette that I love is the Fire palette, and this is probably my most used because it's very like warm. It's got very warm shades in. It's got this stunning red. It's got a really nice black, and then it's got some like a yellow and orange. And before I had like any bright palettes, this was the one that I would really gravitate towards, because I mean, this yellow is pretty. That's quite a standout yellow. It is really pretty. The red as well. It does lean a little bit pinky. But it's still such a pretty red, and the shimmers in here are incredible. They're literally like one swatch, boom, that's it. But I really like this palette. Then another palette that I don't tend to get much use out of, but I do lean towards this when I'm looking for that really nice sort of burgundy eye look, is the I Heart Makeup Chocolate Rose Gold palette. Now, I was actually going to create a burgundy look today, but we've ended up with this more orange eye look. I was using the James Charles palette because I wanted to play around with it a little bit more and give it a little bit more airtime. But I was going to, if I was going to create that burgundy look, this would be the palette I would go for. It's amazing. It smells like chocolate. It's a dupe for, I believe, for the Huda Rose Gold palette. Don't quote me, but I'm sure it is a dupe for that. They look very similar. You've got a mixture of mattes and shimmers in here. This is a stunning, like, I mean, that pinky gold there is so pretty. Stunning is that. So pretty. And then you've got this really nice like brick burgundy red, which is amazing. This like quite bright pink, but it's got like quite a unique tone to it. You've got this really like yellow gold. I mean, this palette for the money is incredible. A lot of other chocolate bar palettes that might tickle your fancy a little bit more. Like I say, this one's more like burgundy shades, but they do like a purple one. Oh my god, they've got so many different ones now. So if you're in the market for a new, like, if you're looking for like a particular colour palette, then it might be worth checking these out and seeing if they do something you're looking for. They do like a chocolate orange one, which is like more orangey tones, so definitely recommend checking these out. Sticking with the theme, we've got some more Revolution palettes here. Now, my absolute favourite, which is actually disgusting, hang on a minute, is the Revolution Pro palette. This is their, what's it called, the Regeneration Trends Mischief Mattes palette, and I mean, if you're in the market for a budget friendly bright coloured palette, like a colourful palette, this is £10 I believe. I've got so much use out of this. You can probably see there's actually shades that I've dented. It's such a nice palette. I absolutely love it. There's such a wide range of colours. You really just cannot fall off for the money. They've got nice pigmentation as well. They're not quite as in your face as like the likes of the James Charles palette, but they do give off really nice pigmentation, and I do really like this palette. Then I've also got the Soph palette. This is the original Soph Does Nails palette, and this is what it looks like. Why does this happen to me? I'm gutted that the lid's broken off it, and it's difficult to try and fix, but it's a stunning palette. It's got such a nice wide range of, I like the fact that it's got a lot of neutrals in here, but then there's a random pops of colour. I mean, this green is so pretty. How stunning is that? And then you've got this really pretty metallic purple shade as well. So it is a really nice palette. I do like it, and again, it's only £10. This is the most recent Soph palette, and this is the Revolution Extra Spice palette. This is a special palette. I love this. I travelled with it when I went on holiday. I love the fact that there's a lot of pops of colour in here. There's so many different looks that you can do with this. The pigmentation's incredible. The shimmers are, I mean, shimmers, like, that's a shimmer, and the mattes they do swatch amazingly well. For a matte palette, I have done a full video on this, so if you want to go and check that out, feel free to go and check that out. But it is such a nice palette, and for the money you really just cannot fall off. I've got more Revolution palettes, obviously because they're just such good value for money. The newest one to my collection, which I haven't actually had a chance to really play around with yet, is the Regeneration Astrological palette. I don't really have much to say on this because, like I say, I haven't really had a chance to play around with it yet, apart from, I mean, it looks stunning and it swatches really lovely on here, but it's got this like marbled effect. This takes a pretty picture. I mean, look at the palette, it's so pretty, but I can't really say much on it yet because I haven't really had a chance to play with it. Another palette that's new to my collection, which I haven't had a chance to play with, is from the brand, like the same Revolution brand, but this is the Makeup Obsession range. This is the Love Every Shade palette. Really nice neutral palette, really big pans, so really easy to get your brush in there. And this swatch is really lovely, but I've not, oh shit, wow, that is buttery. That is, hang on a minute, watch this. That's almost like cream, but it's not a cream. That is special. Wow, I have to do them all now. I mean, that is special. I'm excited to play with this. At the moment, I'm digging the colourful looks. I haven't really played much with neutral palettes, but when I'm back into the neutral sort of thing, which with winter around the corner, I can see me doing a little bit more neutral, effortless looks, especially when I can't be arsed and I just want something easy to put on. I mean, that is wow. So yeah, definitely got to play around with this. Next up, I've got the trusty old faithful Naked Heat palette. This was like the love of my life for so long, and to be quite honest, I haven't fallen out of love with it, but I haven't used it in a little while. There's just been so many new launches that I just haven't had a chance to use it, and to be fair, again, I've been digging the colourful looks. I can't remember the last time I did like a coppery look like this. When I've been doing looks, I've been doing like pink eyes, purples, you'll have seen in my videos, lots of different looks, all very stripped back and like no eyeshadow at all. But this is still, it's got a special place in my heart. If you want a really warm toned palette, this is incredible. It's so pretty. The coppers in here are unbelievable. I mean, this again is a very special shade. It's like a copper shift. Oh, it's amazing. Dirty Talk is like the bomb. It's nearly all used up. I've hit pan on Dirty Talk. It's my fave. Scorched again is stunning. Ember is a really nice like deep shade. I mean, they're pretty, and the mattes are stunning also. Again, I've done a full video on this. I loved this, you can tell. I mean, look at the packaging. Then I've got this La Roche Beginners Collection. I got this, I did a haul with Fragrance Direct, I want to say, and this is one of the products that I picked out, and I picked this out purely for my kit because it's such a wide range of like pink tones. I must admit, it smells very plasticky, the palette. I've not really had a chance to play around with this yet. If you want to see me create some sort of a look with this, then let me know, because it looks very similar to a Morphe, but this has got lots of like pink shimmers in here, and it's got this, wow, vibrant copper. I just can't bring myself to get rid of that. Then I've got two palettes from a brand called Rembrandt London, and again these are very similar to Morphe palettes. They're quite pricey, they're about £35. This is the Pro Perfection 34B. Very nice selection of neutrals. Then you've got your slightly brighter shades here. This is all matte. I don't actually get a lot of use out of this, to be quite honest. It's a lovely palette though if you're a beginner, but with it not being a well-known brand, I can see how people will probably go to Morphe instead of to these. But they do some really lovely palettes. Now the next palette I do really love, and I have used this a fair amount because it's very neutral, but it's got these really like unique orange shades in here. So I do really love this, and I think that this is the 35O. I'm sure this is like the Sunset palette or something. It's a pretty warm tone palette. It's a nice neutral palette, but like I say, they are quite pricey. I was sent these, so I was quite lucky, but I'm not sure I would put this. I feel awful, but I'm not sure it's something I would pay £35 for. Not when I've just gone and paid £35 for did I pay 35? Yeah, 35 by the time, yeah, £35 for the James Charles palette. Not going to stick around too long with this one because obviously we've already discussed this. It's been up recently in a full video on my channel. If you want to see that, I'll link that down below. This is the Morphe X James Charles collab. I don't really know what to say about this apart from it's Sister Slayers. It's incredible. I love it. I have actually, because the one thing that I did say like pissed me off a little bit is this sheet. They do my head in. I've actually started sticking the shades on it because so if I do tutorials using this, I can just go to you, right, that's Social Blade or whatever it might be. It'll be easier to show you. But this palette's stunning. If you want something that's neutral, colourful and a little bit of everything in all in one, then when it comes back into stock, you want to get your hands on this. And we've got this little PIXI WEYLIE HOANG eyeshadow palette. This is sweet. This is quite a nice warm tone, travel friendly palette. It's got a couple of shimmers, really pretty, and then it's got some nice mattes as well. If you're a very like neutral girl, this is probably your jam. It's a nice palette. I do like it. I don't get enough use out of it, to be quite honest, because I do tend to do, like I say at the moment, colourful looks, but it is a nice palette. Then I've got this palette by GADE. This is an American brand. This is actually a really pretty palette, and to be quite honest, I've never used this. I won it in a competition and I've just never had a chance to use it. That's pretty, isn't it? The shades actually did really impress me, but I've just never got around to using this. I think I might actually stick this one in a giveaway because I've literally just swatched it and that's it. And another one which is stunning, and this is more of like just a little shimmer quad. This is the Glow and Ray Mariposa shimmer quad. I love Glow and Ray, you guys know this already. It doesn't blow me out the water as much as their powder does, but it's nice. I've never used this, I've only just swatched it, and I can't see me getting around to using it because I've got so much to use already. So again, keep your eyes peeled because they'll be going in a giveaway for you guys. I've then got my PLOUISE palette. I finally got a replacement of this. Not going to go there with that one. Had a right carry on. Still love PLOUISE, she's queen. But I did have a nightmare getting a replacement palette. I had a problem with mine and I've literally just got it back in the last couple of months. This is her original palette. Really pretty. I fell in love with this. I literally was head over heels for it. It's the first time I'd ever really played with pinks. I must admit I'm gutted because, to be quite honest, since I've got it back, I've never ever really used it, which I thought I would get more use out of this. So I'm going to see if I'm going to play around with it a little bit more. But it is a lovely palette and it's discontinued now, so you actually can't get it anymore. But it is a nice palette. She's actually got a new one out now, which is like the Saints and Sinner collection. That looks bomb. Like, I really want that. And last but not least, I've got these two Technic Pro Finish palettes. These are nice, especially if you're on a budget. They are good quality shadows. They're talc free. This is the pinky tone one, which is the raspberry edition, and then you've got the toffee edition, I believe. These are nice palettes. I have to admit, they are nice palettes. I've just never ever used them. They've been sat in my drawer for so long. I've never used them, and it's such a shame really because they are lovely palettes. Actually, I've used the raspberry one, and this one's really nice, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, they always fall to the back of my drawer, which is such a shame because they are actually nice palettes. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, which has been my eyeshadow palette collection. What's your favourite eyeshadow palette? I'd really like to know. If you're new here, please make sure you've hit that subscribe button, and if you're already around, please make sure you've got your notification bell switched on and hit that thumbs up, and I shall see you in the next one. Mwah. Thanks for watching.